Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. In this video, I will be discussing Cognizant interview experience. I will be discussing Gen Z profile interview experience. So guys, make sure that you watch this video till the end so that you can get to know the level of the questions which are getting asked in it. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe it as well as join my Telegram group also. I post regular updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the questions which are getting asked in them. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so guys, the date of the interview was 9 July. The branch was CSC. The duration of the interview was 40 minutes. Okay, so the first question was introduce yourself. Guys, all of you know that this will be your first question in the interview, and this is a very important question of your interview. You just mention the skills that you are comfortable in. Please do not mention anything that you do not know, because if you will be asked answer from that particular thing that you don't know and you have mentioned in yourself, then it will put a very bad impression in your interviewer, and your chances will get reduced of getting selected. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next question was, what is RDBMS? So first of all, RDBMS full form is Relational Database Management System. Now it is a DBMS in which the database is organized and accessed according to the relationships between data items. In relational database, relationships between data items are expressed by means of tables. Okay, so what is RDBMS? See, inside this system, there are large number of tables which are connected to each other. Now all the data are stored in these particular tables, and I have told you earlier also that these particular tables are connected with each other. So this is a database management system. Now the next question was, write a SQL query to fetch record from table where ID is equivalent to 6. So this is a very basic SQL query that can be asked in an interview. So for your reference, I have written the answer, that is select star from table name where ID is equivalent to 6. This will fetch all the records from the table where ID is equivalent to 6 as given in the question. So I hope this query is clear to you. Now the next query was, write an SQL query to fetch data from table where name starts with A and followed by some other characters. Okay, so again this is a very basic SQL query. In this particular SQL query is to make sure that you know the use of the like keyword in the SQL. So the query here is, select star from table name where name, that is the column name, is like, and then inside that you will be writing a pattern that is starting with capital A, and this percentage sign represents that after A there can be n number of characters, there can be any number of characters, and there is one more operator, that is underscore operator. This shows that there is only one character after A, and that particular character can be anything. So as per the question, we will put after like, we will put A percentage, that is after A there can be n number of characters, as it is given in the question, that where name starts with A and followed by some other characters. So I hope this thing is clear to you, this query is clear to you. Now the next question was, how to join two tables. So you can simply explain this particular thing to the interviewer by writing the SQL query for the same. So how to join two tables? See, we can join two tables by multiple joins. We can use left join, right join, full outer join, inner join. So the basic join that we can use is the inner join. So I have written the SQL query how to join two tables using inner join. So it is, select star from table 1, inner join table 2, because we are joining two tables, on, this is the keyword when we are using a join. So on which column we have to join, that is table 1 dot column name is equivalent to table 2 dot column name. So this is the these are the columns on which we have to perform join, because we know that whenever we have to join the table, there must be a particular column in both the tables which must be common. So when we write this, select star from table 1, inner join table 2, on, then we have to write this condition that on which column we are inner joining the two tables. So I hope this query is again clear to you. Now next was, difference between natural and equi-join. So guys, I have found this Medium article and it is very good regarding this difference. So I will give you the link in the description box, or you can simply write to the Google that we want difference of natural join and equi-join, and after it you can simply write the Medium article. So it will be the first link that will appear to you. Okay, now next thing is exception handling and how to handle exceptions. So first you have to tell interviewer that what a exception handling is, and next part was how to handle exception handling. See, how to handle exception handling, we can simply give an example of exception handling. So let's first of all see what is exceptional handling. So exception handling is one of the powerful mechanism to handle the runtime errors so that normal flow of the application can be maintained. Sorry. Now, exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime errors such as class not found exception, input output exception, exception, remote exceptions, etc. So, why do we do exception handling? See, whenever our code is running, there are very large number of possibilities that at runtime it encounters some error. Now, if we know the errors beforehand only, then we can manage them. So, how we can manage the runtime errors? By using exception handling. So, this is what an exception handling is. Now, how to handle exception handling? So as we all know that there is a very good example for handling exception handling, that is divide by 0. So when we know that we cannot divide by 0 and it will throw an exception. So we can explain the interviewer by writing the code for the same. We can the basic code for exception handling is dividing by 0. So this is an example. This is an example of exception handling, that is we can use try and catch block to handle the exception handling. So this here is the example. In try block we will execute that particular thing that we are hoping that it executes perfectly, and in the catch we are writing those things whenever an exception is encountered in try block, then it will throw an exception, and then in the catch block that particular exception will be caught, and then the proceedings of the catch block will move forward. So this is a basic example. I hope you understood it. So we are dividing it, so numerator divided by denominator. So here whenever there will be denominator 0, then this try block will throw an exception to the catch block. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next question was, what is the difference between C++ and Java? So I will not go in detail, I will just give you the briefing. See, first of all, C++ is a platform dependent language and Java is a platform independent language. Now C++ supports multiple inheritance, but Java does not support multiple inheritance through classes. It can be achieved using interfaces in Java. So that is a whole new concept. If you are into Java, then you must have encountered this particular question. So if you want to study more, you can simply Google it, that how can we implement multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, the next point was operator overloading. C++ supports of operator overloading. That is, what is operator overloading? See, we have a plus operator. We know that plus operator can be used to add two numbers, like 1 plus 2 is equivalent to 3. But operator overloading helps us in using plus operator in different ways. Like we can concatenate two strings. S1 plus S2 will give us S3. So let's suppose S1 is code and S2 is code bashers, then S1 plus S2 will give us code bashers. So this we can do using operator overloading in C++, but Java does not support operator overloading. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next thing is pointers. See, C++ supports pointer, and the simple definition is that Java does not support pointers. We cannot write a code of pointers in Java, but we can write a code of pointers in C++. So these were the basic difference in C++, but first difference is really important, that it is a platform dependent language and Java is a platform independent language. Now next is difference between private and default. Now generally this particular difference is only asked to those students who to tell that they are comfortable in Java, because in Java only there are 4 types of access specifiers: private, protected, public, and one more, that is default. So this is a Java specific question only, that what is the difference between private and default. So first of all, private. Now the access level of a private modifier is only within the class. It cannot be accessed outside from the class. So I hope all of you knew this beforehand only, that a private access specifier can only be used inside that particular class only, by the functions that have been defined inside that class or by the variables inside that class. The private variables cannot be accessed outside the class using direct objects or something else. They can only be accessed from inside the class only. But what is a default? Now the access level of a default modifier is only within the package. Again, I have told you that this particular question is specific for Java specific users only, that the access level of the default modifier is only within the package. It cannot be accessed from outside the package. If you do not specify any access level, it will be the default. Like in C++, if you do not specify any access specifier, then it will be private, but in Java it will be default if you do not specify any access level. And inside the package there can be large number of classes, but a default a variable declared as default cannot be accessed. It can be accessed outside the class within the same package, but it cannot be accessed outside the package. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next questions were, we have to write two coding questions, that is we have to write the palindrome program and then the even number program, and then we have to explain the logic of those programs to the interviewer. So I have written this first code is for the palindrome program, so you can take a screenshot of it for your reference. So this is a simple code of palindrome. We have to check whether this given string is palindrome or not. The next question was to check the number is even or not. So you can, again, this is the reference code, you can simply take the screenshot. It is very simple. We will take in the number and we'll simply check whether it is divisible by 2 or not. If it is divisible by 2, then it is an even, and if it is not divisible by 2, then it is odd. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next question was, what is primary key? Okay, so in the relational model of databases, a primary key is a specific choice of minimal set of attributes, or you can say column, that uniquely specify a tuple in a relation. So see, why do we need a primary key? We need a primary key so that every row inside a table can be uniquely identified. So whenever we have to fetch a record of a particular thing, then we use primary key. So this is the basic use of primary key. There are two properties of primary key, that is primary key cannot be null and primary key cannot be primary key should be unique. The values of the column which is declared as primary key should be unique. There cannot be two same values in that particular column. So these are the two main properties of primary key. I hope this thing is clear to you. Now next is, what is foreign key? Now foreign key is a column that refers to the primary key of other table. So it demonstrates relationship between tables and act as a cross reference among them. So guys, in starting of this video we were discussing what is RDBMS. In that there were two large number of tables which were connected to each other. Now how two tables are connected to each other? They are connected to each other using the foreign key. So foreign key in one table is the primary key of the other table. So this is the main definition of foreign key. See, now the table that contains foreign key, the values in that column should match to the column which is primary key of another table. So whenever we have to join two tables, there must be a relationship, and using foreign key we can develop that relationship. So foreign key of one table is the primary key of another table. And guys, one more thing, there are certain values in the primary key or in one table, so only those particular values are allowed to be present in the column that is declared as a foreign key in the another table. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This is a very important point. Those values which are not present in the primary key column, they cannot be present in the foreign key column of the other table. I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the last question of this interview was any questions. So guys, in general, most of the interviews, this particular question is asked in the last part of the interview. So guys, you must have 2 or 3 questions to ask from the interviewer. It shows that you have interest in their company. So if you are asked any questions, you can simply say you can simply ask that what will be my role in the organization, on what technologies I will be working, what does the company expects from me. You can ask any of these questions from the interviewer, and he will brief you about those questions easily. So guys, this was it for this video. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe my channel, please like this video, please join my Telegram group if you haven't joined it till now. So guys, thank you for watching this video.